Well, hi there, everybody. Meteorologist Travis Klineski. Good Friday to you as we check out things this morning. First off, I want to start off with the heavy rains we had overnight last night, flooding. Still a concern out there this morning, of course, with more rain on the way. That is a potential issue to watch for, especially the next couple of nights here. You can see numerous flood advisories and warnings in the light green shaded areas of south central and southeast Nebraska, including along the Platte River and the Big Blue River. A couple of creeks out there as well in eastern portions of Nebraska and in northern Kansas. And just kind of to put this in perspective now, Hastings, the city of Hastings yesterday saw 4.74 inches of rain yesterday all day long. We had almost 2 inches of rain during the morning, but then another 2.5 or so inches of rain in the evening hours. And you combine that all to equal 4.74 inches. That is the all-time record for the month of June, the most rain we've ever seen in the month of June in the Hastings area, and it's the third most all-time of any day of the year. So incredible amounts of rain. In fact, that surpassed our average daily or average monthly rainfall for the month of June here, which is 3.8 inches of rain. So yeah, an incredible amount of rain out there. Some other places 3 to 5 inches of rain that were hit over and over again yesterday. Still some lingering activity this morning, especially along the Nebraska-Kansas border. There's only a really small chance of a shower storm the rest of the day today during the daytime hours, and that's just because we still do have a stationary boundary placed in the area, especially down in the southern parts of our viewing area, but we've also got numerous outflow boundaries in the area from these showers and storms we've had the last couple of days, and any of these can provide a little bit of lift to possibly just spring up any kind of a shower or thunderstorm, at least on an isolated basis out there. So a small chance during the day, but then more organized activity will come in out of the high plains as we head towards tomorrow night. So this is a little more organized. This has maybe another threat of some severe thunderstorms, mostly damaging winds and hail being a big threat, and this will continue to push eastward during the overnight hours, so some more heavy rain could be a possibility. I don't think there's going to be a lot of training of thunderstorms though, so maybe not quite the threat we had the last couple of days, but of course any more rain does not help. And by tomorrow morning, we're starting to dry it out, only an isolated chance of a shower storm as we head into tomorrow morning. Really through the day tomorrow, the chances of rain are much lower. I would say 20% or less, but by late in the day, and you saw some of that fire up to the northeast here, there's a chance of some strong to severe thunderstorms, especially in the northeastern parts of the viewing area, and then once again towards tomorrow evening, out in the western part of the state, more of an organized batch of showers and storms that'll press eastward Saturday night and early on Sunday morning, bringing a round of strong to severe storm possibilities to the area. So for today, the Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe weather in southern parts of our viewing area and back towards western Nebraska. These are the areas that have the best chance of seeing severe thunderstorms late today and into tonight. But I think all areas, even the area that's not even highlighted but any kind of color up to the north here, has at least a small chance of a strong to severe thunderstorm as we head through the overnight hours tonight. Large hail damage and winds are the main threat, but there is a little bit of an isolated tornado threat in the southern parts of our viewing area, especially for the late afternoon hours. Heading into tomorrow, we're going to see two things happen. First off, I think there's a small chance we see some showers and storms develop in the eastern part of the viewing area tomorrow afternoon. That could provide mostly a wind and hail threat, maybe an isolated tornado threat, and that's where we have an enhanced risk of severe weather. But then there's also a much larger area where we have the slight risk of severe weather, and part of that is due to the fact that we'll see showers and storms move through Saturday night and Sunday morning. That could bring a wind and hail threat as well. And then for Sunday, the far southern parts of our viewing area, as a cold front passes through, have a small chance of some strong to severe storms with a marginal risk of severe weather. And most of us will actually stay dry on Sunday as that threat pushes to the south. The highs for today will push into the upper 70s and lower 80s in most locations, so fairly warm out there, kind of similar to what we had yesterday. Tonight we fall back into the 60s. And then tomorrow, it'll be probably the warmest day we see for a while, warmest day probably all week long. Now, that being said, this forecast model is going pretty aggressive. In fact, it just updated and is going much higher than what it was showing earlier. It's now showing lower 90s. I would say mid to upper 80s in the Tri-Cities, 90s, low 90s down in northern Kansas here, maybe far southern Nebraska. Now it's not out of the question. Maybe we can get some 90s into the Tri-Cities. I just think the better chance is farther south. So most of us 80s for highs on your Saturday, with a few places into the lower 90s. So looking at your forecast the next several days, again, I have 87 there for Saturday. Again, the best chances of rain the next couple of days coming during the nighttime hours, and then just that small chance for Sunday into Sunday night. Monday looks dry. Monday night into Tuesday, a very small chance of a shower or storm. Tuesday night into Wednesday, dry. Even Wednesday night, still dry. Thursday into Thursday night, though, maybe a little more organized shower and thunderstorm activity, including more heavy rainfall and maybe some severe weather out of that as well. And you can see those highs mostly in the 80s again, with lows in the 60s, so pretty uniform temperatures over the next week ahead, with tomorrow kind of being the outlier just a little bit. So again, flooding probably the biggest concern the next couple of days. Severe weather probably the next biggest concern beyond that at this point. I don't expect a lot of it, but some is a possibility. But again, those areas that have had way too much rain, unfortunately, there is more rain in the forecast the next couple of days. So there you go. There's your forecast for this Friday. Until next time, have a great one. Have a great weekend. I'm meteorologist Travis Kleneski.